This is the Horse Radio Network.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the latest edition of Wisdom by WESA. We've got a great show, but we have breaking news. And we have with us today the president of WESA, Gerald Adami, who's going to tell you all about it. So listen up. Okay, let's go back and recap exactly what's going to happen.
Well, we'll be moving in January 2021, and that'll start our first initial move to Dallas. And from there, we'll have the show in Dallas, and that should be our 100th anniversary, I believe. And just hopefully, be a successful show for the Western industry.
So there will be a show in January and then a show in August?
Correct.
Okay. Well, that's how long have you been thinking about this? How long has this been under consideration?
We've been working at it for almost a couple years and been looking at other venues and other opportunities. But we just, as a board of directors, we just felt like Dallas would be the best option for us and best for the industry.
For those of you in our listening audience who really did not get all the details or got part of them, whatever, we're glad you spent some time to come on with us and high spot exactly what the announcement is, what you think the benefits are to the association, and what you think the benefits are to the exhibitors and the retailers.
Yes. I just feel like it's going to be beneficial to the retailers, give them more opportunity with more tenants being there at Dallas and more options to maybe explore adding product to their stores. And as for manufacturers, hoping to bring in a lot more buyers.
Well, clearly it's a major undertaking, but in the board's opinion, this is going to be better for everybody concerned. And I would imagine as time goes on, anybody who has questions is going to be encouraged to get a hold of you or the WESA office for specific questions as to how it relates to their attendance or their exhibition, new companies coming into the business who want to know more about it. Chat a bit about how you want to relate to people who have interest in questions and comments.
If they have any questions, feel free to call the WESA office or myself. And we just hope that they, have some time to think about it and take it in and have a positive attitude about it. And change isn't always easy, but we feel like it's the best move for the industry.
Okay, so to recap, 2021, the big change comes. The big show in January and the show in August, and people have a couple of years to adjust to how they're going to do that. I think that's, it's a very important move. I'm glad you came on to explain it. I'm sure there will be questions, there will be comments, but now everybody knows exactly what's going to happen. So I thank you for taking your time to talk with us and to our listeners.
Great. I appreciate the time, and I appreciate you taking the time to interview me and give me the time to at least recap on it.
Okay. Thanks a lot. This is Mike Donnell.
This is Casey Wilbanks-Coletti.
And this is Sophia Aguilar. Welcome to the Wisdom by WESA podcast on the Horse Radio Network.
This podcast is brought to you by the Western and English Sales Association, WESA, which produces the world's largest trade events for retailers, manufacturers, and sales representatives of the equestrian industry. In this podcast, we feature exclusive interviews with noteworthy Western and English personalities, retailers, and exhibitors who you've always wanted to talk to. Don't miss out on all the news for manufacturers and retailers in the equine industry.
Hey, we have a good show today, talking to a brand new member of WESA going to make their debut at the September WESA show. We're talking about Mackey Equine Accessories and the company owner, Meegan Robinette. So stay tuned. She's got a great story to tell.
WESA is without a doubt a growing association with new exhibitors consistently joining. Can you walk us through the steps of joining WESA and becoming an exhibitor?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. All you have to do is call or email Kristen at the WESA office and ask to become a new member. You will then receive a membership packet with all the information about the shows and an application to fill out. And then completing the form and joining WESA will allow you to participate in all the shows and get you all the exhibitor benefits.
Where can they find that email address to get started, or can you provide it to them right now?
Yes, that is kpaulson@wesatradeshow.com.
And how is that spelled?
KPAULSON.
Perfect. Is that also on the website?
Yes, it is.
And where exactly would they go to find it on the website?
On wesatradeshow.com on our contact page.
Oh, perfect. Well, that sounds pretty simple. I mean, it sounds like even I can do that. But anyways, can you tell us about some of the benefits of joining WESA once they become a member?
Yeah, so besides, of course, being able to participate in the WESA shows, new exhibitors will also be featured in a special new exhibitor panel, which we will distribute to all of our retailers. And this will make it easier for retailers to explore new companies and see what's new, which of course increases business for new exhibitors.
Awesome. Is there any other added benefits once they're an exhibitor?
Yeah, so what we also offer is some free marketing. Exhibitors can request to be featured on our social media channels. That form is called a featured product request and will help exhibitors to gain brand awareness.
I think there's another benefit as well, especially for the shows. If you are an exhibitor, you publish a catalog or a directory prior to each show, which provides names of contacts of the companies. There's photographs, a chance to advertise in the directories, and I find that to be useful. Whenever I go to the show, I use that as a reference to find companies and talk to companies all year long. I think that's another major advantage of being a member and participating as an exhibitor in the show.
Yes, we publish our retail list, so conducting business and forming relationships will be very easy.
One of the most important aspects of a WESA trade show is the presence of companies and brands that have never before exhibited at WESA. It is their opportunity to introduce themselves to retailers and other show visitors to present their product lines and position themselves as a high-value supplier. One company making its debut at the September show is Mackey Equine Accessories, and we have Meegan Robinette with us to give us a preview of what the firm will be featuring in their booth this year. Meegan, welcome to Wisdom by WESA. We're so glad you could join us this afternoon.
Well, thank you so much for calling me. I really appreciate it.
Well, one of the reasons we wanted you on is that not only do you have a very interesting company, but this is your debut at the next WESA trade show. And our plan was to introduce some of our newest exhibitors to our audience. You clearly qualify. Why don't we just have you give us a little bit of history behind the company and the concept, similar to what you and I chatted about a while ago?
Okay. Briefly, I've been in fashion and apparel and accessories, women's, men's, kids, for years. And I actually was trained with Target Sourcing Services. And so I've been in manufacturing, I've been a buyer, and I am a horse owner. And I love a good plaid, but that's really all that was being offered in the horse world for fashion. And because I have a fashion background, I knew what I needed to do. And I wanted to see my horse and my friends' horses dressed in all kinds of mix and match patterns. I wanted to see 3 different patterns was my initial goal. And I started the Bee Mine, which is obviously bees with a little airstream. Very cute. And I did a dandelion, which is black and white and stripes and florals and polka dots and a plaid. And I did another line called Modern Vintage, which was for the younger crowd, and kind of a pink and a turquoise and a white and florals, which was reminiscent of a little more vintage looking. So I had a goal, and that was to make 3 collections this season, which I did. And they're in fly mask, fly boot, hay bag, tack organizer, and a tack tote. And so far, the reception has been terrific. Everybody likes it. My quality is very good. I found a wonderful factory in China, Taiwanese owned, that has only been producing in the UK and in Australia. And we all know that they are terrific at making product for horses. And we're adding a bit of whimsy. That's really our goal, is to give a quality, well-priced item with just a little bit of whimsy, and so you can individualize your horse. They're not going to look like every other horse at the barn. And that was my goal. Pretty simple, right?
Yeah, pretty simple. I was talking to Mike earlier, and I mentioned to him, being a horse owner myself and highly using fly masks and fly wraps and things like that, leg wraps.
Right.
A benefit that I would, that first came to mind for me, for say retailers interested in carrying your products, is when a customer walks into a retail location and you go to the fly mask section, you usually will see like the typical gray, black, tan, green, and this will really bounce off the shelf, in my opinion, lined up with the other availability. So to me, that's really a big bonus for a potential retailer for you.
You're absolutely right. And what I did in addition to give the retailers kind of a nice, strong presentation is, if you look at my boxes, you can visit my website, which is www.mackeyyusa.com, and you can see some of the stores set up. It's a green and white packaging that has a little awning on it. So when you visually set up a store, it is so strong of a presentation. It's all coordinated. It tells a story. If you just it's like Garanimals for horses. You just put it up there, and the retailers don't really have to worry about making sure that everything is set up correctly, because it mixes and matches. And that was my goal. If they buy one of the collections, it all coordinates. They can't make a mistake, nor can the consumer. When they're picking it out, they can totally match a stripe with a polka dot or a plaid with a stripe. It all works together. And that's the beauty of the line. So, we all know things are going to wear out. Like a fly mask eventually is going to get beat up. And so, but your boots may be perfect. What you can do is you can buy another different design and it will totally coordinate. And that was my goal, to make it cost effective for the consumer. But it's really important to be safe, make sure that the product fits well. So one of the things that I did is I gave them extra room around the eyes, so that their eyes are not smashed down, or their eyelashes. And it made such a difference for the horses in terms of comfort. And it's a safety issue as far as I'm concerned as well. And then I also made all the noses detachable. It has the strongest Velcro. In fact, we just had a blogger review us last week, or 2 weeks ago, and she said she'd never used fly boots before. And she said she was a little concerned because, she's had problems or heard of problems with other people coming off. The thoroughbred that she has could not get those off. She said they're so easy. You hose this material down. You can, if it gets dirty, you just hose it down. You put them back on, that Velcro sticks. The horses can't get it off. So I'm really pleased with how my first season has gone. I mean, we only brought in the goods in April. So this is a new venture for me. And now, based on that success, I'm adding new products. We're starting to work on our rain sheets, which again will be in our whimsical fun prints. We're doing a fly sheet with some frogs on it, because frogs eat flies, right? And we're doing I know, funny, right? And we're doing some new patterns in the fly masks and fly boots. We're again doing a frog, because I could not believe how many people collect frogs. I've been at some of the trade shows recently, and they're all like, so what's your next critter going to be after bees? And really, overwhelmingly, everybody wants to see a frog. So we have an adorable frog, and that will be in a fly mask and boots. And we're doing a harlequin pattern, and we're doing a mini check. And again, we listen to our customers, and our customers have told us they want to see some more purple. They want to see a royal blue. They want to see a red. It's kind of old school with a twist now. So I am bringing those colors into the new patterns that hopefully I'm going to have at the show next month. I mean, I'm pretty excited. So we'll see. I'm pushing hard to get those here.
It's quite a unique combination you have coming from, say, a fashion type industry and then mixing it with horseware products, because as we all know, fashion is a huge thing in the Western industry, in any discipline right now. Fashion is a huge thing amongst people. And so you're kind of translating it over into the equine end of it. And I think that's really neat. I like the mention of the attention to details. I think that's really important to horse owners. And you also mentioned the attention to quality. And that's another thing that's really important to horse owners, in my opinion. And now, as we have you here, we're talking to you because you've decided to take these great products and take them to WESA this year. And we want to hear a little bit about your thoughts behind that. And obviously we know a basic reason why you've decided to join WESA, but fill us in a little more on why you're coming to WESA this year.
Well, I'm really excited to be at WESA. I'm so excited because I believe that the Western customer and the English customer, but I think in particular the Western customer, is going to strongly react to my product. It's colorful, it's fun, and it's got some print, it's got some fashion, it's got a vibe about it. And I think this customer is going to really appreciate that. And I do know in the Western world that they like detail, and they like to know that they're buying a quality item at a really good price. And I think that's what I'm going to offer them. So I'm pretty excited. And I'm excited that they can continue to grow with me as I explore new categories that I can add that are going to have the fashion edge, not be silly, but I think we need a little fun out there and, have a spot of color at the barn so you can find your horse. Like I did have one lady who bought the pink polka dot that I have for her gelding in pasture. And she came by and saw me at an event, and she said, I just want to tell you, I bought the pink polka dot for my gelding because he's in pasture, and he always rips off his mask so that I could find it. She goes, but I have to tell you, he never got it off, so I never had to go looking for it. So now he's stuck wearing a pink and white polka dot all summer long. I thought it was charming, personally. Yeah. But, I didn't have a problem with it.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, absolutely.
So it's my first time being at WESA. I think I'm going to have a good reception, and I'm going to love the feedback, and it will only help me keep improving my line. So I'm using this as not only an opportunity to meet some new clients, but also learn from this world, So I'm excited. I think it's going to be fun.
Well, I think everybody's excited to have you at WESA. It sounds like you've not only you having fun, but there's a lot of thought that's going into what you've been doing, what your future plans are with design. I'll ask the question, and of course you don't need to answer, but other than new designs, are you thinking about extending the product line?
Absolutely. I started out because I own the company, and this is my money that I'm putting into it. So it's a huge, this is my retirement, basically. So I really did a good job of editing it, and that's why it's a tight line. It's 3 different fly masks. It is, the hay bag, the tote organizer, the tote, hanging tote, and the fly boots. But I know that I need to be not just a seasonal vendor, I need to be a year-round vendor. And to do that, I've got to get into the rain sheets and the blankets and fly sheets. I need to expand my repertoire. So that is my goal. I'm also introducing a slow feeder because based on talking to a lot of the grain and feed stores, there's a lot of overweight horses over there, or greedy horses that really, and they're destructive. So I developed a slow feeder that I've been wear testing for 6 months that I'm going to hopefully introduce by January that is going to slow down those horses, and they cannot destroy that thing within 6 months, at least. I've been testing it, and I've been watching it with a variety of different horses that are difficult. And so far, crossing fingers, I keep checking on that slow feeder. It's still in working order. There's very little damage to it, so I'm pleased with that because the slow feeders that I'm seeing out there, they're not lasting very long, and they're very expensive. They'll retail for over $100, $125 to get a good one. So I'm hoping I can keep it under $100. So that's my goal anyway. So yeah, I have a lot of plans for new products, And we'll see. We'll see how they turn out, right? I mean, this is a new venture, and quality is very important to me. And if I can't maintain my quality, then I'll hold off on it until I can get it right.
Well, this sounds like you're going to be a successful. I can tell you're having a lot of fun at this. This is a labor of love. And I think everybody who comes by your booth at WESA is going to be impressed with not only the variety of product, but the thought that goes into it. And if they have a chance to chat with you, they know there's a quality person behind the quality of the product. So we're really happy you took the time to chat with us. Oh,
thank you. Oh, I did forget one other area I'm going into is saddle pads. There's definitely more English dressage, but I have such unique prints in my fly masks and fly boots, and it's all of the artwork is proprietary to Mackey. So I'm putting on some of it on saddle pads. So I think it's going to be really fun for the consumers. So watch for that as well. I totally forgot to mention that.
We will do. Hey, thanks a lot for your time.
Well, thanks, you guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to meeting you all in person.
The show notes and links from today's show can be found at wisdombywesa.com. And of course, feedback, we'd love to hear yours. We have a contact list link on that website.
The Wisdom by WESA show will be published on the 15th and 30th of every month. You can listen on most of your favorite podcast players. You can also listen on the Horse Radio Network app on your iOS or Android phone. Just search Horse Radio Network in the App Store. It's free and it's super easy to use. Be sure to visit all the great shows on the Horse Radio Network at horseradionetwork.com. Thanks for listening to the Wisdom by WESA podcast. WESA, where the industry meets.